So, in the second episode, we talked about how Devaki and Vasudeva do not understand why this is happening to them. They're not given explanations in advance, obviously. And yet, they do something very real. They stop fighting reality. They don't ask, why me? Now, before we go any further, something must be made very clear. The Bhagavatam is very precise about the children who were killed. Only six children are killed, not seven, like how many people think. These six children are known as the Shadgarbhas. They were not newly created souls. They were not random, innocent beings with no past. In a previous life, they were the six sons of Marichi, one of the Prajapatis born from Brahma. During that ancient cycle, they became entangled in Asuric influence and they were violently killed by Hiranyakashipu, the powerful Asura who was the father of Prahalada and a relentless enemy of Lord Vishnu. After this killing, Brahma cursed those six souls. The curse was direct that they would be born again and they would again meet death through violence. When these six souls are born from the womb of Devaki, their long karmic cycle finally comes to an end. The Bhagavatam does not say this to excuse Kamsa. It does not soften Devaki's suffering and it does not justify this cruelty. It tells us only this that these children's deaths were not random, but the pain was still very real. Now comes a question most people never ask. Why did Devaki and Vasudeva have to go through so much suffering in the first place? The Bhagavatam answers this as well. In a previous birth, Devaki and Vasudeva were born as Prashni and Sutapa. They were not kings, they were not powerful, they were not seeking liberation. They performed severe austerities with only one desire that Bhagavan himself be born as their child. The Lord appeared before them and granted this wish. In that birth, he was born to them as Prashnigarbha. This was not a partial descent. The Lord was truly born to them. But the purpose of that avatara was brief. It fulfilled their devotion without unfolding a long earthly leela. Later, in another birth, those same souls appeared as Aditi and Kashyapa, and the Lord was born to them as Vamana. This was the Vamana avataram. And now, in this final and closest birth, he is appearing as Krishna to Devaki and Vasudeva. Here is the part we must understand in simple terms. Each time their closeness to Bhagavan increased, their exposure to the world's danger also increased. To bring the infinite into the finite world as a child means entering a realm governed by fear, power, and violence. The Lord does not bypass the world, He enters it. And those closest to Him stand closest to its risks. This suffering is not punishment, it is the cost of intimacy with the Absolute in a broken world. Most people pray with hope. If I pray, if I surrender, if I'm devoted, then life should hurt less. And that hope is very natural. But the Bhagavatam gently corrects it. Bhakti is not a contract for comfort. Bhakti is a relationship. And every real relationship works the same way. When you truly love someone, their pain doesn't stay distant. If something goes wrong in the life of someone you deeply love, you feel it far more than someone watching it from the outside, right? So when God stays far away, life may remain very ordinary. But when God comes close, especially into the human world, He does not cancel its pain. He enters it, and those closest to him stand closest to what the world does to him. That is why Devaki and Vasudeva are not protected from pain, but they are protected from being bitter. And through all of this, Devaki and Vasudeva do not lose themselves. Distance may feel safer, but bhakti chooses closeness and not comfort. They live a truth the Bhagavad Gita will later talk about. Karmane vadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana, which means you have control only over your actions and never over the results. When life takes something from you that you cannot protect, The question is not why it happened. The question is what you become because of it. Devaki and Vasudeva answer that question with steadiness, with devotion, and without any bitterness. And because of how they respond, the night of Krishna's appearance draws near. In the next episode, we enter that spectacular night. We'll talk about why the prison begins to glow. We'll talk about why Kamsa becomes afraid without knowing why, and why the infinite chooses darkness and chains as the place to enter the world. See you in the next episode. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.